Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and you guys saw the title of the video. So, if you struggle with forearm development and you own a pair of straps, I can tell you what your problem probably is. So, let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing. Let's do a little crafting, and let's talk about that. Alright, straps. Straps are forearm killers. Straps create weak links in your body, basically. They basically make your grip and your forearms a weak link in your body. I don't care whether it's your physique or your athletic performance, and actually it's really weird that in the modern world today that people actually separate the two, meaning that people think it's even acceptable to look like they're strong and impressive and fit and to not be. Again, baffles the mind. That used to be an unheard of concept. Like a lot of the golden era bodybuilders would freak out if they knew that people thought that way today. And people will use these arguments and say, well, pro bodybuilders do this. Well, who gives a fuck what pro bodybuilders do? Do you guys really give a fuck what a bunch of guys do who spend $30,000 a year on drugs and get up on a stage oiled up wearing a pair of panties posing in front of an audience of other men? I mean, do you really give a fuck what they do? I hope not. If you do, I don't know, this might not be the right channel for you. Now, that being said, the idea that many people have when they're doing various pulling exercises, the logic is, I use straps because I don't want my grip or my forearms to be a weak link and have me have an underdeveloped back as a result of it. You know, I feel like if I don't do that, my grip's going to give out. So I wear the straps until I can get my grip caught up so that my back doesn't become underdeveloped. Well, let me ask you guys a very, very simple question. How many guys do you know who have strong backs, who don't use straps, who lift heavy weight on their various pulling, who don't have good back development? Like, what world are people in where they think that this is an actual issue? Number two, so you need a little time to get your grip caught up. So that means after 2 or 3 weeks, you throw the straps away, right? Because 2 or 3 weeks of extra grip work priority, you shouldn't need them anymore. You should be able to just grip the bar and pull it on all your rows, all your chin-ups, all your deadlifts, all of it. You should be able to do that just fine, right? Because you worked on your grip and you got it caught up, and in a few weeks, it's good to go. Oh, but that's not what they do. They don't ever do that. They don't ever catch it up. And then these guys have little tiny forearms, and then they wonder why. They wonder why they have no forearms. Then they go do extra forearm work trying to get caught up. So not only do they have to put straps on, go through the trouble of buying straps. I know they're not that expensive, but you're still buying them. You're still going through the trouble of putting them on between sets. In all honesty, in my opinion, straps when you're lifting heavy hurt worse than gripping the bar. It's putting yourself through extra wrist pain because your wrists don't handle that well. I've messed with them in the past, and I can honestly tell you it's a lot easier and more comfortable to just grip 500 pounds with your hands than it is to strap up and do reps with it. I think it hurts less, so it's not even a pain thing unless people are into pain. They like having pain in their wrist. And you know, some people are into that, but that's not the most effective way to get big and strong. But they come in and they do this extra work, and oftentimes they still never really catch up, and then they wonder why. Or then they notice there's other guys that have bigger forearms, stronger grips. And you know, here's the thing. Guys do this oftentimes chasing aesthetics, and then they get embarrassed and humiliated publicly. You know why? Because any guy who actually does manual labor, a construction worker, a bricklayer, farmer, rancher, a lot of those where I live, this is Texas, they'll see all those big muscles on you, and they'll look at your forearms and know that you have no grip strength. And what do you think they do when you're in front of a group of people? When they want to show off and they want to belittle you so that, you know, you guys are like, well, I'm going to get jack everything. I'm going to attract girls and get laid. And you get in a social environment, and then what happens? That guy with the strong grip, the big, thick forearms from driving T-posts all day or baling hay or swinging hammers, he challenges you to an arm wrestling match. Then what happens? You get humiliated in front of everyone. When he takes you, even if you're on gear and you're big, and he slams your hand right there, or almost breaks your hand when he grips it because you have no grip strength. So it's again a case of people who can call you out and show you very, very easily in the real world, and men like to do that for some reason. That's a thing with men. Men, it's all about pecking order and a social environment. And if a guy is big and has a lot of muscle and looks intimidating because he's got a nice physique, other guys will make sure that they put him in his place. That's something you guys forget about when you're like, I'm going to get intimidating so I can, seem more confident. And that might work at first until you realize other men are going to assert their dominance. You're going to make yourself a prime target. And when you have no grip strength and he sees your forearms, he's going to know that you use straps for everything. He's going to know that you're actually weak. You have a lot of strong body parts, but you're weak. And he's going to embarrass you. And then who's going to be confident? It's not going to be you. So guys who do this because they want it for confidence or to show off or whatever and don't care about strength, yeah, in the real world you'll find strength matters even in social environments, at parties, clubs, bars. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Because if you look big and strong, you damn well better be. Because if it's all looks, other dudes can and will call you out on that shit. Welcome to the real world, fellas. So, that being said, here's the thing. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And guys who, again, tend to do all this, they have a weak link that they've never addressed. And you know what? It's just as easy, and it actually is less time consuming for you to just toss the straps and actually learn how to grip the bar. Use some chalk. Grip up on the bar and do everything raw until your grip catches up. Do you know why? Your back's not going to lag that much. Honestly, if it's lagging right now, you're going to have to do a little catch up. I mean, if your grip is lagging at first, but if you guys are early in your training, you ditch those straps, you're not going to see a tremendous difference in back development, even if you're held back a little bit by your grip. But in the long term, your grip is going to catch up. And you are going to be able to actually lift the weight. Because the truth is, you see guys who do that. You see guys who do that on YouTube, and they'll do stuff like they'll go deadlift or whatever on YouTube. And I have people compare it to me even. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not the strongest deadlifter in the world, never claimed to be. But you can't deadlift that weight. You're wearing straps. Why are you pretending like you can? Take those straps off and lift it. Okay, you did 10 reps with it. Can you grip it for 1 without them? Because can you do 2? Can you even do 3? Otherwise, you didn't lift that. You're not capable of lifting that. You had to have straps help you lift it. Lift it. Again, that's going to be a better demonstration of the real world, because when you got to pick something up real quickly in the real world and grab it, your forearm strength and your grip strength actually matters. That is one of the most useful set of muscles in the entire body, and that's why guys who actually work hard out there in the real world will embarrass a lot of you guys who are gym rats. When they shake your hand or when you arm wrestle them, they're going to embarrass you because you have one of the most functional and useful muscles in the world. And yours is underdeveloped and weak because you got caught up in treating the human body like a set of Legos. It's not. It all works together. And when you allow yourself to create weak links because you intentionally create weak link and imbalances because you're like, oh, I'm going to wear straps and then I'll catch up later. You have a weak link, and it's obvious to anyone looking. That's how those guys will know to pick you out, because you actually have a glaring weakness that you can't hide unless you got long sleeves on. Your big biceps and pecs don't mean shit, and they know it. Because you can't arm wrestle, you can't grapple. You're practically useless. That is a person who is all show and no go at that point. And again, other people will know it. Other people will see it. Whether you realize it or not, people who know anything about strength, they see it and they know. So even from a standpoint of trying to impress other people, for people who care about looks, you have an obvious imbalance when you guys do that. And everyone who knows what they're looking at can see it. And it doesn't even have to be guys who work out. So it's not helping you. Ditch the straps. Do all of your pulling without them, and your forearms will catch up on their own. You probably won't even need to isolate them. You might not even need to do any extra grip work, and if you do, it'll just be like your farmer's walks. Your GPP work should sort that out. And it really should be a non-issue. Guys overcomplicate things because they come up with stuff like, I want to pull this really important muscle out of an exercise because I'm scared it will be a weak link. Well, fix your fucking weak links, guys. Fix your fucking weak links. Don't just leave them. And that's how you just leave them. Let them develop. You develop them by training them. You don't develop them and get balanced development or balanced strength by ignoring them and trying to find ways to take them out of the exercises. You don't try to take your biceps out of a weighted chin-up. You don't try to take your grip out of a deadlift or a row. You don't try to take your triceps out of a bench press. Again, that's not how you become strong and well-rounded. That is how you develop imbalances. And those imbalances don't just apply in the real world. Other people can see that sort of thing. They know when you have tiny, weak forearms. They know that you don't train them, or that you train them, but not really because you're using straps for everything. And they know that you have no grip. And it's blaringly obvious. You see it in guys all the time who lift. You can see it immediately. So just be aware of that, guys. Ditch the fucking straps. They're not helping you. They're not making you any better. If anything, they are holding you back. And again, once your grip catches up from actually training with it, your back is going to be thick and enormous. It's not even going to be a problem. You just need to get overall strong. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.